Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Motorgraph World channel. My name's Mari. Today I'm here at the Hyundai Motor Studio, the main one here on the Gangnam Main Street, and I'm next to the facelifted Tucson. So a lot of you might think at first glance that there's not that much that has changed. One critical factor that has changed is in fact the face. Let's take a deeper look at what design elements have changed on this facelift. As you can see, the grille part and the lighting area, the daylight running lamps, not much has changed, but you can see the design elements that have changed. Before, in the previous version, the grille as well as the lighting and what connects it all together, it was more kind of like a pointed scaly type of design. And those of you maybe in the North American markets who are familiar with the Santa Cruz pickup truck might think that this is a familiar face. However, this time around, they have separated all of these design elements. It's more kind of like a pixel, each and every pixel on each of the grille elements. So that's the biggest difference at the moment with this facelift. Not much has changed. However, because of that design element, the overall look of the car, the face of the car, has changed. In fact, it's already been, 2.5 years since the Tucson new version actually came out. And it was a sensation. They sold so many Tucson models with the previous face, and then you kind of get too used to it. Now that I see the new version, it is quite refreshing. As you may realize and remember, I did not like the side profile or the character lines of the Tucson. I still cannot get used to it. It's a bit too messy, a bit too busy for me. Even with the facelifted version, there's not much difference or any changes to the side profile. One change is that they have new wheel designs. So the same 19-inch wheels and the tires. However, the designs are slightly different. So very minimal changes to the Tucson. I guess since it was such a popular design and model, they didn't want to change it too drastically. So you don't really see that much difference, especially at the back. However, if you come down to this part with the bumper as well as the skid plates, these are some of the differences. Well, one difference. And because this is a hybrid model, you won't see the exhaust pipes sticking out. So now we've opened up the trunk and same old, and it's very flat. The opening is a bit high up, but it's an SUV, so it's very flat inside. You can make use of that flatness. And when you sit in, it's quite spacious. Although because of the slanted roofline, you won't have enough room to stack up with your luggage. However, if you fold up the second row seats, you can actually make use of the extra room for the second row seats. It's quite flat, but in fact, if you open up the lower compartment, there's not much to see. So it's only just a tools box kind of layout, and you won't have enough room in terms of the depth in the lower compartment. I kind of have to ask myself, was it like this before? Because you see so many models of Hyundai and Kia, in fact, coming out with these kinds of similar types of aesthetics, as well as these large screens and the steering wheel and the HVAC and the center console. So you kind of forget which one was which at some point. Anyway, you have the two screens that are conjoined together, and it's angled towards the driver. The HVAC itself, part of it is touch and part of it is buttons. This is, for me personally, the best kind of setup. In the interior, one thing that has been upgraded is the larger screens. So before, when it had the smaller screens compared to its brother model in the family, Kia Sportage had the bigger screens combined together. In addition, now this type of knob or lever is seemingly the default setting for Hyundai models, because you're seeing it more and more within the Hyundai cars. Before, it was the button type controls. However, now it's the lever type. In addition to that, the space has become a bit more optimized so that there's no space lying around. Tucson is a compact SUV, and so you want to maximize the use of space as much as possible. And I think that they've done that with the facelift. This new facelift version also has a head-up display. I can see it vaguely right now. It's the generic version that Hyundai models employ. So even in bright daylight, I can see it quite clearly. I remember I liked the seats when I first saw the previous Tucson as well, because it was just subtle enough. They had the perforated seats. It's not a hugely comfortable or like a very cushiony type of seat. It is, to an extent, quite hard. It supports you well enough so that if you actually want to drive this Tucson in a sporty mode, it will be able to give you enough grip. The facelift hasn't really much changed the second row seats. I mean, there's a lot of room, enough headspace, enough leg room. Even if you slouch and you decide to have a rest in the second row seats, you still have more than enough leg room. So you can adjust your seat level to the upright position, or you can also have it in a reclining position and you can be a little bit more comfortable. And then you also have the center armrest. The thing I like most is the panoramic sunroof. You have so much sunlight and intake of the sunlight that it almost makes you feel as if you're in a cabriolet or an open car. This is the N Line. As you can see, the grille is different, and even beneath it, you have much more of an aggressive face. I kind of like it, in fact. It just makes me think of a particular brand or design, but even regardless of that, if you look at the overall design and how they have put it together with the matte silver, dark silver, and then with the dark silver chrome as well, and then all of it put together, I think looks like a very bad boy kind of look for the N Line. Oh, I like the interior of the N Line. It's all in the dark mode. Everything is quite dark in either dark charcoal or black. And you have the red stitching to denote that it's the N Line. You have also, with the engine start-stop area, the red details. On the seats as well, you can see that these are driving performance seats. I love the fact that they didn't go too far with the design. And you have the N logo in the center. Tell us what you think. I personally really like the design inside because it's not too much, but it's just enough just to tell you that this is the N Line. So what did you think about our review of the facelifted Tucson? So a lot of people were expecting that upgrade in the transmission. Some people were saying that they wanted the 1.6 liter turbo 8-speed transmission. However, that transmission is the same. It's the 1.6 liter turbo 7-speed DCT. You might be a little bit disappointed, but we might look forward to the new version of the Tucson for the upgrade. Tell us what you think down below in our comments, and remember to click subscribe. I'll see you next time.